Gilgit, situated on the bank of ancient Indus River, is the headquarters of the northern area in Pakistan. It is located at an altitude of approximately 1,500 meters. The city has been a central point of trade and political activity as early as 1st century AD. Since then, it has always been a very strategic location for neighboring countries, and it continues to be the administrative and commercial capital of the northern region. Surrounded by the massive mountains of Karakoram, Gilgit is nestled in a small valley with just enough hospitable climate to form a city of 500,000 people. Beyond Gilgit, there is no sizable town or city in any direction within a distance of 450 kilometers. The journey to the Shandur Pass by horseback and jeep begins at Gilgit, the adventurous ride in the heart of the Hindu Kush. The entire journey may take up to 7 hours. The route leads through paradise-like green and cultivated highlands, lakes, and valleys. At Gupsi, the river transforms into a lake the locals call Kalti. During the journey to Shandur, visitors love to linger here. The next beautiful point is Pandur Lake. The breathtaking views from the height of the road provide another spot to relax on the journey. As the journey nears its end at Shandur, visitors see another scenic pass called Nangar Valley. When the visitors reach Shandur Pass at an elevation of 12,200 feet, greeted by a wide open area for the upcoming polo games. A tent city caters to the players, participants, and onlookers, set amidst the backdrop of the Hindu Kush mountain range. Being a part of this exciting, highly charged atmosphere is unforgettable, an experience of a lifetime. Polo has long been known as the king of games. Gilgit is the home of this spirited pastime and is where the British rediscovered and promoted it. Today, polo is played in Gilgit and Chitral enthusiastically in its original thrilling form. The king of games is ready to begin. The fans have taken their seats around the polo field on rocks, hills, and other natural outcrops, which double as grandstands. The polo ground in the Shandur Pass is smaller in width and breadth than the conventional field, being 60 yards wide and 220 yards long. It is the most elevated polo ground in the world. The players, strong and aggressive, exchange terse but friendly handshakes and wish each other good luck. The polo sticks are not allowed between the legs of the ponies. The polo games on the roof of the world in Shandur is an event more than 100 years old. Polo was played here every July. The rival teams of Gilgit and Chitral compete for the honor of being the best. This festival is celebrated every year with great zeal, passion, and spirit. And a great number of local as well as tourists from inside and outside the country participate. The game is 50 minutes long. It is divided into 25-minute chukas, with a 10-minute break between the two. Each team consists of 6 players with only 1 horse per man. The game stops only for serious injuries to a horse or player. Should, for some reason, a horse or player stop playing, his opposite number on the other team must also leave the field. If the ball goes out of play, it is thrown back in immediately by one of the spectators. The pole ever called the Game of Kings and the King of Games. The mini-battle starts. Spectators find themselves as witnesses to a grand past. The event as signals the beginning of a new history. The first time a polo tournament took place at the Shandur Pass was in 1936. A British political agent, Major Cobb, who was fond of playing polo under a full moon, named the site near Shandur Mooney Polo Ground. Colonel Cobb felt that because the moon seemed so close to the earth at this high elevation, his dream of playing polo in the light of a full moon could be realized. The polo on Shandur's naturally green ground is still played in a very rough form, as it was when it started some 100 years ago. The aggressive movement of horses and powerful shots of the players create an emotional atmosphere. The game is a lifestyle for many of the local people, and the horses trained for the game are often kept and fed better than the family members. Polo in Shandur is a kind of power sport, with only the strongest horses surviving. Overall, the game is a great experience and a thrill for spectators. The players have power and grace like the rugged mountains of this area. Teams from Gilgit, Chitral, and Skardu have always played the game of polo closest to its original form. In the past, local Rajas, Mirs, and Metars were patrons of the game. At times, more than 50% of their annual budget of their principalities would be spent on supporting polo. The enthusiasm of the spectators is remarkable. The excitement level of the crowd is as high as the mountains surrounding them. Men, women, and children of every age participate in supporting the games. The three-day tournament is witnessed by more than 26,000 spectators from all parts of the country and the international community, as well as a large number of locals from Chitral and other parts of the northern region. The 3 days of the tournament are celebrated as a colorful festival with sights and sounds that are fun for everyone. Shandur Polo is a rough game that lures in the spectators because it is played with no holds barred. Of late, teams from Afghanistan and Kashgar, China have also been invited to compete. The resulting melange of cultures allows the rare opportunity of experiencing the vitality of these hardy mountain folk in a setting largely unchanged over the centuries. During the week-long festivities, there are folk dances, trout fishing competitions, singing contests, but above all, there is polo. folk dancers entertain the spectators and resting players and horses in the break between each half of the polo game. Dance and music expresses the emotion of the local culture. They welcome the spectators and promise to perform again next time. The orchestra plays century-old tunes with replicas of ancient instruments. People love to watch the ages-old dances and listen to the music. The performances are so intoxicating that no one leaves his place. Tired horses and less oxygen at the high altitude does not stop the players after the mid-game break. Each team becomes more enthusiastic to win the match. The expression of the crowd becomes louder as they support their favorite team. Tired horses experience higher morale to follow the ball. The thoughts and habits of the local people are still unchanged despite the centuries that have passed, just like the majestic mountains of this area. They love to play the polo in ancient style to keep its legacy alive. Polo's origin is embedded in Central Asia, dating back to 6th century BC. At first, it was a training game for cavalry units that made up the King's Guard or other elite troops. To the warlike tribesmen who played polo with as many as 100 players to a side, it was a miniature battle. It became Persia's national game in the 6th century AD. From Persia, the game spread to Arabia, then to Tibet, China, and Japan. The English word polo is a Baltic word meaning ball. Polo was introduced in South Asia by the Muslim conquerors in the 13th century. The weather during the Shandur Mela celebration is excellent. The temperature remains at 10 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius in the clear days. The spectators turn out because the weather is not very hot nor very cold. There is no gender and age limitation to watch the polo matches. It is not easy to reach this place with women and children, but they make the difficult trip because they don't want to miss this event. At the end of the match, supporters of the winning team swarm the field. They dance with folk music to celebrate their victory. The chief guest awards the prizes to the players based on their performance. And bestows a cup to the winning team.